Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Press the Action Button podcast here on digital-delirium.com. As always, I am your host, Joystick, and with me this week is Gameface. Say hello to the people, Gameface.
Can I crack my beer?
I don't know, can you?
Yes, I can. I'll wait for you guys. It's cool.
Also with us this week is Slacker-chan. Say hello to the people, Slacker-chan.
I listened for the plot.
Did you just fart when you said... Holy cow!
That was the chair. I swear. Anyway.
Oh, man.
See, that's the chair.
It's that curry we had.
Yeah.
There's so much curry in that curry.
Yeah, I know, there was a lot of curry in. Well,
got this jar.
One serving is not going to feed one person, because one serving is always way fucking small.
Yeah, but you made 3 and a third for each of us. This jar says about 10 servings per jar.
We ate all of it, didn't we?
We did. It was good. I'm just making fun. It turned out really good. We made chicken curry.
The serving of, an ingredient, though, is not...
Yeah, it's not cut and dry. We have big appetites. We usually go for 1.5 to 2 servings.
Well, not just that. It can be from a matter of taste, or also how much total meat and other stuff.
Oh, plus, because it was just one...
You cut up, a whole onion and pepper, and... So anyway.
We did make a lot of stuff in that curry, yeah.
So you need a lot of sauce to cover it all, otherwise it really wouldn't have been curry.
Radical good curry.
Oh my god. The first bite had me hiccuping, and then all of a sudden my eyes were just burn! And I'm not sure it was the curry, but I think that was coincidence.
Well, the curry did have more burn than I usually make it with.
You know what's weird? The burn didn't get to me at all.
But
it didn't get to me that much either. But...
I mean, I didn't have that much trouble after the first bite. I think it was just... my allergies happened to kick in at the same time, but it was just kind of funny. I just took one bite, I started hiccuping, and I'm blinded. I can't see! Ah! And it was actually that spicy. I mean, it was, but I like spicy.
So do I. Mm-hmm. That's one of the reasons I like curry. That and Paul comes home and smells curry and he hates it.
Yeah. Annoying Paul, as we've noticed, is funny.
Yeah, it is funny. I pointed that out to you at a bar.
Likes curry.
Because you were like, man, we gotta go. We gotta finish our beers. And I'm like, why do we have to rush our beers? Because Paul called us. He's at a bar. So are we. And you're like, but he wants us to go get him. But Alex, annoying Paul is funny. And you're like, yes it is. And so we took our time with our beers.
And this is the exact same logic why I always mention ponies on the podcast.
Because annoying us is funny?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take it.
Well, just for the record, last week you annoyed one new person too.
I didn't even say that much that last week. I think most I said was
you just concentrated it all into the 5 straight minutes of
ponies.
Pony faggotry.
What did I even mention?
I don't know. We will play the data file for you.
Whatever.
Well, it's online.
I think
now.
I just warned him. I'm like, yeah, just in case, blah blah.
And then you went. You yelled something about ponification or something gay.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
when you introduced me, I was like, ponification. Yeah, just hope you never get Turnbull to do this while I'm here. Otherwise, it's gonna be ponies. Oh, ponies.
You mean as opposed to Minecraft? Ponies. No, Minecraft.
If that happens, I think we're going to have to finish our beers and actually throw it at them this time. Because last time you tried to throw it at his phone and, failed.
Yeah. Or as Andrew would say, good lord, throw cans at him.
Yeah.
When did Andrew ever hear me talk about
No, Andrew said that about Sebastian, because he was
okay.
running around in the supermarket dressed as Spider-Man. I sent him a picture message, and he replied, good lord, throw cans at him.
Oh.
Okay, beer.
Okay, yeah, this week we are drinking
Dundee.
Various forms of Dundee. I have Nut Brown Ale.
I have India Pale Ale, and it's got a little ship in a bottle on the...
and I have Super Saiyan 2.
What?
Well, he's like, we're drinking various forms of Dundee. I don't know. I just thought...
Super Saiyan... okay, I gotcha.
No, I'm drinking Porter.
Super Saiyan Cider.
Super Saiyan Cider.
Super
Saiyan Sass. Sarsaparilla. Anyway, I'm
Well, there is
opening-
a beer called a Saaz, S-A-A-Z. I didn't crack in time. There we go.
That's because...
Kind of a weak fizz.
Yeah, well,
Tim,
it sounds a lot better
you
with
need to change
cans.
seats. Here's your rocking horse. It's Fisher Price. We can pull it up to the table.
It's
for
not
you.
Hasbro. It's not official.
It's has price.
Wait, it's just cloth.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Anyway,
It's got a...
that was. a
I'm sure you
statement,
guys
not a
noticed
question.
when the big announcement last week, and I hope you guys enjoyed all the comic strips that we put up. The backlog of 39 total, and we will get a new comic strip up soon. It is already written. I just haven't drawn it yet.
Nor have I. I was thinking about maybe drawing it, but I have no initiation.
Well, I just want you to finish drawing the picture of Herbert for the...
Well, I sort of did. I just said I was going to ink it, and then I didn't.
I would appreciate it if you would finish it.
Well, no, sorry to troll, but, I am cool but rude. I'm a party dude.
Shut up, Keith.
Okay. I love that freaking music video. I'm not even a particularly big Turtles fan, but Keith Apicary did a mean rendition of his own experiences in one glorious take.
Yeah,
Who are
the
you trolling
entire
out there?
freaking music portion of the video is one take, and it's awesome.
And there's thugs in a junkyard, and they dance in sync with him.
It's
It's
really
so
fucking
rad.
cool. And he's like beating him up the entire time.
I can't think of any word other than just rad.
Yeah. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I still haven't gotten a response from Eric. I wonder where the hell he is. But there he is. I'm gonna tell him that he said I won't be ready for a few.
Tim looks amused.
I'm just
What are you
gonna.
up to, Slacker Champ?
I'm just thinking about a video series called Battlefield Friends. It's fucking hysterical. Part of the key is in the group. There's 4 of them. The one is a noob, and that's where a lot of the trouble sometimes comes from.
Of course.
The humor too.
So he's a caboose?
Something like that. But anyway, in the most recent one, I think they were hinting at that he's been trolling them the whole time, and he's not actually a noob, because towards the end of the video, all of a sudden he just starts summoning. They're like, wait, what are you humming there? What are you humming?
Nothing.
He's like, no, that was you were humming the Trollolo song. No, that was distinctly the Trollolo song. Why are you humming that, huh? What, like, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then all of a sudden he's like, and one of them's like, wait, is that C4 on the hood of the Jeep? Why is there C4 on the hood of the Jeep? And he's just like, bail out. What? Bail out! He gets out. The Jeep drives, hits an enemy tank, and he just blows it up with his teammates still in it.
For
And,
massive damage.
and as a result of the points, he gets promoted to it. It's just like, yeah! Promoted!
Oh, man.
So I'm wondering if, like,
This really sounds a lot like a Battlefield version of Red vs. Blue, which is pretty
no,
cool. because
not really.
Red vs. Blue kicks ass. I don't even like Halo very much.
It's an animation. It's
Well, Red vs. Blue is an anime. I mean,
No,
you should
it's
see
not
how much
game
effort they
footage.
put into the animation nowadays.
Well, yeah, but it's
Now,
not
but-
game footage, is what he's
yeah.
saying.
It's original animation. It's not even that high quality. But
I just like when they did
it's
that on.
hysterical.
I like when they did that on Yogg's Cast, where he had the TV within the TV.
Yeah.
And the end, it's like, Lewis, where are you? And it's like, ha ha ha, tra la 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 la, ha 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 ha. Ah, you can't go wrong. A little Edward Kill.
Edward Kill.
Edward Kill.
Who the hell is Edward Kill?
The Trollolo Man.
Mm.
Except it's a Russian spelling. It's like Edouard. Noob.
You're a noob.
You're a knob.
Shut up.
You're a
I was almost
Knoob.
going to say something racist.
You're a Knoob with a K.
K-N-U-B?
KN00B. Knoob.
Your mom.
Your mom's a noob.
Your mom
Except with me.
is not a noob.
Your
'Cause-
mom is a first-person shooter.
Wasn't Jason supposed to be here this weekend?
Next weekend.
Oh, I was going to call him gay.
Well, he is very gay because he's not here.
I'm going to call him gay anyway. Jason, you're not listening to this, but you're gay.
I'll make sure he listens to it. and spams the crap out of your comments page that you don't have yet.
We don't have... Well, I just added a bunch of new features. I just added a new feature to the site that added several new pages for people to visit, and it's cool and a lot of fun, and I don't know if you ever finished reading the comics. Did you? Where are you going?
No. I haven't even listened to our own podcasts.
Well, I kind of sort of do when I edit them. I just barely ever listen to
I do once in a while. I'll get one out and start playing it. But
the final product. I don't really
the final cut.
That's my line.
Yes.
You guys want to get to the first topic?
You mean we're not already on it?
No.
Okay, let's go.
Well, this first topic should be especially important to you because it's related to Battlefield 3.
Damn it! I was hoping for ponies. Okay, what is it?
It's it's not something you're gonna like.
Sit on the rocking horse.
Wait, hold on.
Tim, sit. Oh,
Jesus.
What if I end up wearing that next time?
I don't even think... It wasn't even that close to my ass.
Okay, Prickly Pete, lay off the beefarino.
I'll try. Anyway, what's the topic?
EA is getting rid of their free servers for Battlefield 3 and replacing them with paid servers. This means that you possibly might have to pay monthly to play Battlefield 3 online in the future.
That is retarded because they started with the whole, you can run a server now. That's cool. That should have relieved enough of their traffic, blah, 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 saved them a bunch of money, and gained them money.
Yeah, and then they decided to close down their free servers after that. They're like, you can have these, but if you're going to be on any server that's not a fucking fan-run dedicated server.
All the ones that are fucking currently rented out are full.
I don't know. The article didn't say. It just fucking said that they're putting up paid servers, and it could be up to $30 a month for server maintenance. I don't know if that's $30 per person.
I'd rather pay that much on a fondue set.
I don't know if that's $30 per person.
No.
God, I hope not.
No, what's happening right now is, and what they're talking about is taking this way is like for $30 a month, you can rent one of their servers, and basically, you as an admin, you can give other people admin rights, other PSNs, or like or with Xbox Live, gamer tag, whatever, and you can change things about it. You can customize it. Set different rules, blah blah blah. And then you can change the spawn rates, have the ticket counts, all kinds of stuff.
And then you can be like,
but it might wind up being that is the only kind of server that you can get on.
Here's the thing, people are renting these servers. However, I'm not renting one. I can get on other people's servers that they're currently renting. You can have it restricted or open to everyone.
So it's just like a Minecraft server. It's very...
no, not necessarily.
Very decentralized.
It's kind of like... You played MGO, right?
Yeah.
Remember, the auto-matching was on their servers?
Yeah.
And that was mostly random for the most part. Most people didn't use that. They used the custom. And all the custom matches, it was hosted. It was hosted by someone in that room. It was player-hosted. Kind of like how Modern Warfare...
Yeah, it's very decentralized.
Oh, yeah,
so
but
that's all I meant.
This week they started shutting down all of their free servers, and, there's a big uproar about it amongst the Battlefield 3 community. A lot of people are very angry.
That's retarded.
I would agree. I hate the very idea of you having to pay monthly to play some video game you already bought online. If you spent $60 to buy it, you should be able to play it online.
That's what
Don't you miss the Dreamcast days where you could just dial in and be done with it?
No, it's one thing.
I love the Dreamcast Online.
It's one thing when you have a game that when it has a monthly subscription because it's an online game like Eve or WoW, and that's how it starts. And usually it stays that way. Sometimes, with DC Online,
this is how it starts, dude.
Free to play.
This is how it starts.
Get back on that.
However, you do not sell a game out to an incredible large amount of people, millions of people, that constantly playing it, then end up basically saying, okay, now that you'll have this game and you love it, we're going to make we're not cutting some of our servers because we can't afford it, or doing this to promote more. They got money. They were able to... It's the same amount of servers because people are renting it.
Battlefield 3 made them a shit ton of money.
But by renting them out, they're making back money off of that. So now what they're saying is, well, because we realize we can make money back on that, we're just going to make it so that a percentage
Everybody
of
has
you,
to pay.
not everyone, but a percentage of you has to play. Whoa, for everyone to have the ability to play. This chair's falling apart. But anyway,
yeah, I noticed.
But it's not even that everyone has to pay, and honestly, that would be bullshit too. However, I actually think it's a little worse because basically you're saying, well, only a select people are going to have to pay. So that everyone, and as it is right now, it's people who are trying to promote their clan or their online service. Say like, Rooster Teeth they could rent their own server so that like, hey, yeah, you're playing on the official Rooster Teeth Battlefield 3 server, blah blah blah, and it can be used as a form of advertisement in a sense, or for your community or your clan, whatever. But now it's going to be where people are going to be like, yeah, I have a server because fuck EA. You know what I'm saying?
You're saying fuck EA by giving EA money to have your own server. You're stupid.
You have a choice. Yeah. You don't have a choice. It's like, wow, you were voted the worst company in America, so what do? Piss people off worse. Like, really? That's your direction.
So, what do you get when you cross...
Their word-for-word response to being voted the worst company in America was, fine, we'll just continue making award-winning games. That's what they said.
So, what do you get when you cross Electronic Arts with the Twilight Saga? Penis.
Well, let's put it this way. The response is retarded because I guarantee you I did not read the reasoning why they were voted that, but I guarantee it had nothing to do with the quality of their games.
I know it had nothing to do with the quality of the game. Yeah. It had to do with things like what they did to Redwood Studios, where they acquired Redwood Studios, who made the Command & Conquer games, and then had them make, like, multiples, both expansion packs and games alike. Every year, they would have multiple releases of a Command & Conquer or Command & Conquer Red Alert game, and the consumer kind of got sick of that, and like, these games are being pumped out so fast that the quality is going down. They're not as good as they used to be. The sales went down. The company went out of business because EA made them do this. And EA has done that numerous times over the years. And it's that kind of business practice, the same basic kind of business practice that Walmart takes. Like, we're big enough, we can do this, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, this gamer chair is not really that uncomfortable to me.
Well, that's because you're not fat. No,
it's just like sitting on plastic.
That too. I don't know, this is what I sat in like all throughout middle school, like a thing like this.
Honestly, for me, because it was like my thighs were
that'll do it.
Side of it, but
I actually lost some weight.
I'm working on losing weight.
You probably are losing weight.
Yeah, hopefully.
So yeah, EA sucks. Way to alienate what fans you do have.
Yeah.
In the battle, like seriously, all the people who love Battlefield, you know, they're probably the only people who truly support you anymore. Way to fuck them over.
You know who's not getting a say in all of this?
Dean.
DICE.
Sorry.
EA is not giving DICE a say in this.
Who's DICE?
DICE is the
DICE is the subsidiary of EA that develops Battlefield.
Oh.
Yeah, basically, they make the game, EA profits.
Yeah. Well, they profit too, but I'm sure EA gets a bigger cut than they do.
Why? Because fuck you, that's why.
It's kind of EA's like, fuck John Riccatello, man.
Dude, that's part of the problem with like the big corporations today is they end up making all these subsidiaries, like, turn them basically into their bitches, into slaves. It's like, yeah, because we bought you out, we now get a bigger cut. You have to do everything we say, even if it cuts into creative license.
In all due respect, okay, it's the conservative coming out in me here, but
what?
They chose to sell themselves to these companies, and that's kind of goes with the territory. Well, when somebody owns you, you do what they want. That's
also part of because these big companies are pushing it, like basically pushing it so that these smaller companies can't prosper.
Well, yeah, I now agree, that sucks.
To the point where if they want to survive, they have to sell their...
Yeah, but that's the trade-off. That if you sell yourself to another company, they have control. So that's how it works.
You know what I think happened with the ending of Mass Effect 3?
So basically...
I don't think it should come to that. Don't get me wrong. I think it sucks that they're pushing these smaller businesses out of...
Well, no. Basically what you put it down to where these big companies have...
Like, if that happened to Mojang, I would be like...
Where all these big companies have all this power and control, basically, come up to these small little people and be like, bow or die. And that's basically their options you're telling me.
It shouldn't... Well, no. I mean, I wish it wouldn't
come to that. With some companies like Walmart and EA and Activision, too.
Oh, no. Don't start on Walmart. We already went over that. Freaking Walmart.
Well, I'm just saying, that's how Walmart is.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying it shouldn't... I'm saying, no, don't get me wrong. I don't think... I wish it wouldn't come to that, and I hope that there's some way to combat that. I believe it starts with the consumer, personally. The
Vote
producers...
with your wallet.
And producers unionize. I think consumers should unionize, too. But let me just say, I'm saying after that part. Once a company has been annexed, they've sacrificed creative control. Well, that's just how it works.
Let me give you an example, though, what I mean.
You're right. I mean...
it's like, for instance, there's an up-and-coming company, and they get to the point where the big companies go, hey, look at this growing dot on the radar. Mm-hmm. It's growing bigger. Okay, they have the potential of becoming a powerhouse. They could maybe one day rival us. So we need to snuff it out. Well, what's one of the strategies that they can do? Well, they can block them for every venue they try to advertise. They can end up blocking by outbidding them. And basically blocking them, shrinking them down. So if they can't advertise to let people know they're out there, well, then they can't grow, and then they end up stalling out and shrinking until the point where they're forced to, we have to sell ourselves to the company that's been cock-blocking us, or lose our business altogether.
Yeah, but what kind of ways can they lose out? If they nab up an advertising space on a billboard, they've got that. That can't be bought up. They get so.
You know what
so
I think happened with the ending to Mass Effect 3?
What?
I think EA had some kind of mandate to give them to them to make it fucking more open-ended of an ending.
Yeah,
I think that's what happened.
Lost on me.
Well, no.
Reading your mind.
He was bringing back the reason he mentioned Mass Effect 3 is because it's owned technically by EA.
BioWare makes it. Mass Effect releases, or EA releases it. EA is the parent company. They have basic control.
Right. Like, for instance, like a lot of the movie companies out there actually have nothing to do with the movie other than maybe like
funding. Yeah,
funding, and then distributing it. Or sometimes they don't even distribute it themselves; they have it through another company.
Fundation and distribution. It's going to be the name of our podcast because I have economic control.
Anyway,
booyah!
But no, what he was saying, because originally BioWare is like, it's going to be a trilogy. It's very specifically, there's going to be multiple endings, blah blah. It's a trilogy. There will be no more. And then EA
that didn't
was
really
like,
happen.
oh look, this turned into a powerhouse of a game after the second one. Millions of people were looking for the third one. It made incredibly huge record sales. And they're like, well, we're going to leave the ending open-ended so that we can continue possibly making more games.
I think that's what happened.
Right.
It sucks, but the fact of the matter is
it sucks. I think
they claim the rights. I'm not really big on.
Well, anyway, one thing
I think they ultimately made BioWare compromise their vision.
Honestly, this kind of plays into the whole piracy internet.
You have to own the rights to really have creative control. It sucks, but
this actually kind of ties into the whole piracy over the internet.
You said
copyright. The whole copyright issues and
which really sucks. I hate intellectual property.
Part of what's funny is Hollywood, all these big production companies. What's funny is the way they started, laws that were passed for them that helped protect them, are now actually what's screwing over everyone else. Because what originally happened was because was it Edison? Believe it or not, Edison wasn't perfect.
No one is.
He created actually the first, in a sense, motion pictures. And these
Thomas Edison.
Yeah.
I've actually been hearing a lot lately about how many ways he was corrupt.
Right.
But
and he made these, like...
Still an interesting guy.
These boxes, you put in a coin, look in, there's these moving pictures, right?
Yeah, Nickelodeons.
Yeah, exactly. And, so people wanted to start making these other motion pictures on their own, but because he invented the device himself, he had owned the copyright. So you know what they did? When they went out west, where the law was different and they could find a loophole, that's how Hollywood started.
Ah.
And so originally, back in the day, Hollywood, what back then were the fledgling production companies, in a sense, they were frowned upon because they were like a loop in the system, they were getting away with the crime, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, now they've become the big corrupt companies that have a lock on intellectual property and media and entertainment. And
so keep on going.
And now,
Australia, further west. Go to Australia and start our new Aussie Wood.
No,
call it Aussie Wood.
My point being is, with the internet, it's kind of bypassed that where people can try to become independent.
Let's not forget.
And a lot of these bills they're trying to pass on the internet would actually stifle people from doing independent content, and basically it's putting power back in the hands of the people and taking it away from the big production companies.
Okay, well, yeah, that's good.
And that's
good. Wait, say that again?
For instance, people who are on the internet, like Angry Joe, or like they were going to...
Yeah, no.
Angry Joe's not doing anything wrong.
Well, no, exactly, but he went to...
You mean the laws, the regulation...
Right, they're trying to put...
I'm sorry.
They're trying to put in place would stifle these people who are doing their own...
I'm saying the creativity is good, not the laws. I don't really believe in intellectual property. I mean, I believe in a little bit of protection, but not nearly the amount that we have now. And not nearly the amount that some people are pushing for. They're trying to monopolize entertainment to the big heads, in Hollywood with the fancy freaking hats, who agree with their positions. It's usually a lot of political agendas
another
in it.
Part of the problem is, and I agree, is like with like what EA's doing is even though they own these companies, though, I think that the actual creative process should remain completely in the control of the people who are creating it. If the people who are funding it don't like it, then they should cut it all together. They should not have the ability to command them and tell them how to create
But they sold
property.
themselves, so all bets are off.
But
if they're just getting funding, they're not owned. They're just getting funding.
Well,
and then that's absolutely the case.
Say that happens to the company you're with normally lets you have full creative process over your creation. However, then it's bought by a bigger company and they don't say that. Well, you're not going to just leave because A, it's going to be hard to find another job. B, is somewhere else. Most of anyone else who's going to take you, they're also like that because that's the way the law is that the big heads who don't actually aren't actually the creator of the product will tell you to change the creative process.
Yeah, but it's in the contract.
I understand.
And they need to be careful.
But what I'm saying is that I don't think that's right. It
goes on a lot.
Intellectual property-wise, I don't think that's right. It should be fully in the hands of the creator, regardless of where the funds are coming from.
Yeah, but that's why I think it behooves smaller companies to stay independent, even if they're losing out big. I mean, there are ways to get funding without actually selling ownership. You can incorporate and sell stock. You can apply for a National Endowment of the Arts. I mean, it's not going to be too long before they start funding video game production. I believe.
Here's another way to look at it. For instance, like that.
Well, the Smithsonian did recently hold an exhibit specifically about the art of video games.
Smithsonian. That's cool.
Well, one thing for instance, the whole Mass Effect thing, an example of how I think the way the law is, it takes the final creative say out of the hand of the creator of the intellectual property into the funder, and part of the reason I think that's wrong not only stifles creativity...
No, it's not just the law that does that. It's contract law
However, there's certain things that you can't put in a contract. For instance, there is no such thing as a legal contract where you can have someone as your slave.
True.
So there are certain things, regardless of the contract, that they could change the law to protect contracts. However, anyway, example would be, for instance, with Mass Effect, right? They originally had
certain finite... I have to pee.
Oh, I was just going to say real quick, and I was going to be done with it. They had certain finite. They had certain finite plans for that game, the creators, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were going through it until towards the end, where EA is like, "You're going to change this because we have the final say. We want more money, right?" Well, now instead
they kept their plans through 1 and 2, and then drastically changed at the end of 3.
Right, and now at the very end, and now
Go
Sebastian,
that way.
Hang on a second. Put this on hold.
And we are continuing. You guys want to actually...
Anyway, to finish what I was saying, that creator had finite things he wanted to do with the series, right? Then EA at the end was like, no, whatever you had in mind, fuck that. This is what we want to possibly continue the series because of money. And so now,
did they become a subsidiary of EA prior to this?
They became a subsidiary of EA prior to Mass Effect 2.
He had this whole artistic idea, this thing he laid out, and everyone was loving it, and now all of a sudden at the end, no matter what, for the rest of his career, there is a taint on...
Taint.
There is a stigma on this whole series, on this whole story, as a result of this, and it's also a taint on him as his resume, and his own imagination and creativity. That itself has been kind of ruined, tarnished, as a result of EA's greed, his creativity, and honestly,
but if I were him, I were that passionate, I would not have sold, because it's got to be I'm sure that he knew about it, that there's a caveat in that contract that said something to the effect of, if we don't see one of your creative works fit, we reserve the right to alter or exclude it from production altogether. And yeah, that sucks, but I wouldn't have trusted EA.
Right, now you have to put yourself in his position. Now, does he immediately, say, I quit, and he has bills to pay like everyone else. I quit from EA, this is why they're doing this with my creation, I'm disowning it, or would you have to weigh that. You have to weigh that. He didn't sell out to EA originally. BioWare did. He worked for BioWare. It's like if you're working for a company and it's bought by a bigger one. You didn't sell out.
I see what you're saying.
And now all of a sudden he has to weigh between disowning the whole thing altogether. Basically his baby, something he poured his part of his life and soul into.
BioWare was nice enough to let him run with that, probably just because they were cool like that, but they didn't have to be either.
Finally, or there's the side where he can stick with it and try to do as much damage control as he can from EA's hands. Whereas if he had just let go, EA could have been done worse. When
BioWare sold out to EA, I would have taken the money and run. I would have taken my baby, my franchise, any rights that I could have secured to it, and run with it. Maybe try to get some fan support. Maybe try to start a third party. Have you heard of how many people...
But he can't, because if he had quit, then he immediately lost all creative control. Then.
Prior to selling out to
Hold on, here's a question.
If he was probably a higher up, he would have known about that.
Well, here's the question. If he had originally sold out to BioWare, but he knew BioWare was going to let him do what he wants, and that was fine. However, he has no say whether or not BioWare sells out to EA. Well, that's beyond his control. So with it, basically...
So he did let BioWare have the...
Right, he had let them have control, and as far as he was aware, it was in good hands. He trusted them. So far, they treated him well. And then all of a sudden, to keep BioWare going, they had to sell out. And then, that's not his fault, the creator. But anyway, my point being...
I think he would have had some leverage if he made a great selling game for BioWare.
That's what I'm saying. That's why he probably didn't disown it. He probably stayed with it, because he probably did have some leverage, and he was probably trying to do damage control, and that might be why he doesn't leave. Like, a lot of creators don't leave. Even though the producers are trying to screw up the story, they stay, because as long as they stay, they still have leverage. Whereas if they don't, they have no leverage.
Yeah, but if they have leverage, it would not be the same product. A lot of the fans would probably know that. The company would know that, and they might decide not to go through with it altogether, because they're taking the story without any creative input from the original creators.
Well, here's the question: when did BioWare get bought out by EA?
Between Mass Effect 1 and 2.
Okay. Yeah, and 2 didn't become popular. I mean, it wasn't...
1 was pretty popular.
But it wasn't
blew up with 2.
Yeah, it blew up with 2.
Because 2 fixed all the problems with the first game was great. Don't get me wrong. I love Mass Effect 1. But it had a few problems that really held it back. Especially driving the Mako in Mass Effect 1 just plain sucked. And they fixed that in Mass Effect 2. No Mako, no problem. You know? And Mass Effect 2 wound up being a better game than the first one, and the series blew up after that. And I think that's when EA said, we gotta keep this going. I think that's what happened. You guys want to get to the next topic because we're 37 minutes in and haven't gotten to the second topic?
Fine, whatever.
The Avengers!
Good discussion, though.
In light of the recent massive success of the Avengers movie, with it making $200 million in its opening weekend and being number 1 at the box office 2 years in a row, despite the fact that there is a new Tim Burton movie in theaters.
Isn't 2 years in a row? What?
Or two weeks in a row.
I was about to say, what?
2 weeks in a row.
What's the total up to? Has it beaten Avatar? Because there was a lot of talks that it was getting close to beating Avatar.
I don't know, but it's a better movie than Avatar.
I know this last weekend.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
Just
close, but yeah.
Just this Saturday and Sunday, it made another $100 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which would put it at about $300 million, I think.
No, it was over $1 billion before this weekend.
No, they said it was going to potentially reach $1 billion pretty soon. Anyway, there's an Avengers game coming called Avengers Battle for Earth.
Oh,
it will
God.
be. It
no.
will. It's
no.
Not,
no.
Shut up and let me talk.
No. They're all gonna laugh at you.
It is not based around the movie, which it's just. I imagine it just exists because of the popularity of the movie. Like, hey, we're making Avengers got popular. Hey, we're making an Avengers game.
Yeah, that's why I think it's going to be a piece of shit.
You can play as Captain America, Thor, Hulk, and Iron Man. It features 20 more characters from the Marvel Universe. It should come before Christmas. But here's the kicker. Here's why it's going to blow. It's for Kinect and Wii U, and is motion controlled only.
Tim just turned into Hulk for a second there.
Yeah.
No.
Timmy Smash!
No love for any of the other Avengers. Not like they're saying it's not connected to the movie, so they could also add Spider-Man or Wolverine, but I'm guessing they're not.
Well, I said 20 more characters. They haven't announced what characters are there, but 20 more characters from the Marvel Universe. So there might be love for them, just not as a playable character.
It's still...
But a motion-controlled Avengers game? What? I mean, what's that? Like an on-rail shooter with fucking Iron Man as the central character?
I think they tried that and it was terrible. Didn't Rage Quit it?
That wasn't
an on-rail shooter, but that was based on Iron Man.
Well have been.
It was the Iron Man 2 video game, and it was supposed to be fucking terrible. Yes,
it was. Oh my god.
I haven't played it, so I can't speak for it.
I wouldn't play it. Just watching Rage Quit, dude. It looked like a really shitty game.
Yeah. It's not often that Rage Quit plays games that look really, really good. Trials Evolution.
Well, no, he plays actually a lot of good games, but sometimes he just kind of rages for the video. Like he played Battlefield 3. And what else? What other good games did he play and Rage Quit on?
Greg Hastings Paintball 2.
Oh, that was fucking horrible.
Did you?
He played Super Meat Boy.
That's a good game. But
he played Happy Wheels. That's a good game.
A lot of the games that he does play.
His review of the new Turok.
Yeah, the Turok for the Xbox 360 is another crappy game that he played. I've played it. The only good thing about it is the fucking knife kills. Other than that, it just plain sucks. But
the only good thing about it is that there are dinosaurs in it. If I had to be slaughtered, I'd prefer it to be by a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Regardless of what they're saying, this really is kind of a movie game, and that like, hey, there's an Avengers movie. Oh, by the way, there's also an Avengers game, which they wouldn't be making an Avengers game if there was no Avengers movie. You can almost put money on that, and when So in that sense, yes, it kind of is a movie game, but they're going to have more time to develop it. They're not on some kind of limited schedule, but I still have no hope for it. And an Avengers game should be good. You have a bunch of likable heroes kicking the crap out of a bunch of not likable bad guys, you know?
I prefer the likable bad guys.
Well,
Team Rocket.
A likable bad guy is a bad guy that you can hate, which means he's not likable in a normal sense. Like Kefka's a great bad guy. Yeah. The Joker is likable in that he's so hateable, you know?
Yeah. Dude, oh my god.
That's what you want in a bad guy. That's what I want in a bad guy.
Well, there's also Ra's al Ghul is a great bad guy, because Ra's al Ghul in Batman...
Batman's loaded as a great bad guy. He was in Batman Begins. He was the guy that trained Batman.
Yeah.
Oh.
But in the original, he's supposed to be an immortal thanks to this thing called the Lazarus Pit, which can restore him.
So the radioactive ooze?
Yeah, basically. But no, but because he's like 600 years old, he's like incredibly skilled in martial arts, even better than Batman.
Wait, so he's Pai Mei?
Yeah, basically. But
he's
like
not
he's not in true sense of villain. He wants to actually save the whole world from like the human race nature.
So but the way he goes about it is more
he believes like that you need to kill to save more lives.
So he's like Loki.
No, Loki just wanted to rule Earth because there's a dick. But no,
Tater.
Well, Loki wanted revenge on his brother too.
Well, Ra's al Ghul is part of a secret society that supposedly has been around since the beginning of time, basically taking down anything that gets out of control and trying to keep humanity in line. And
remember, in Batman Begins, they were trying to destroy Gotham.
Yeah, because it was so corrupt, it was beyond saving.
Yeah, they figured it was so corrupt, it was beyond saving. Batman Begins.
I don't remember much of it. I just remember going, "Holy crap! This movie's still playing."
No, that was Batman Returns that you did that, Daring.
But anyway,
that was a good movie too.
But no, there's just a whole Batman does have, but no, good villains.
Well, the Penguin is a good villain. Fucking the Scarecrow. I love the Scarecrow.
I could have blood gushing out of my nose.
There's a lot of good villains in the DC universe. Hell, there's more good villains than there are good heroes. Like, dude, especially what I think. I think
the Marvel universe has more good heroes, and the DC universe has more good villains.
Yeah, but one thing in the DC, like with the Justice League, like my favorite, because there's always there's a couple of big villains in the DC universe. They kind of switch between which is the main villain for the Justice League.
Magneto is one of them. Yeah.
No, Magneto is Marvel. What are you talking about?
Oh, I thought you said Marvel.
No, Justice League. But the one I always thought was the best was Randall Savage, who Randall Savage is supposed to be he was around when humans were first around 50,000 years ago or whatever. He's supposed to be 50,000 years old, and he was a caveman, and a comet landed that was really warm, so he slept next to it while everyone else ran off scared, and ended up making him a lot smarter than any caveman. That plus it made him immortal, invulnerable, and he doesn't age, he can't die, and as far as he knows, and so, but he's not super strong or anything else like that, so he's lived for all of mankind's history.
That's awesome.
So he's very deceitful. He can come up with really complex plans, and he can wait out anyone because he's immortal.
Wolverine kind of have something like that going on, except he's a good guy.
Well, yeah. Well, Wolverine has accelerated healing, but it's just.
Well, I thought he'd been around since
he always makes the
American Revolution or some shit.
He always makes the best villain for the Justice League because it's just that concept that he's been around for so long and is immortal, and it's kind of he's like a force that you can push back but will never stop coming.
Yeah.
Whereas Lex Luthor, Brainiac, all the other villains in the DC universe, they could be killed or stopped. But anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, sorry.
Dead Space 3 has been confirmed. They will talk about it at E3, but there are some rumors. The rumors state that it will have...
Wait, no spoilers. I'm still working on Dead Space 2.
This doesn't spoil Dead Space 2.
Okay.
I'm just telling you features that
might
be added to the game.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Dead Space 2 is a good game. I didn't like it quite as much as I liked 1, but I did enjoy it.
They did not need a multiplayer.
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
the multiplayer was a waste. And it's unbalanced as shit, dude.
Which side has the advantage?
The side with the weapons.
Oh.
You can shoot from a
I heard
there's like
was...
one kind of fucking necromorph that has a long distance attack, and every human has a long distance attack. Advantage humans.
Well,
Big
the
time.
necromorph. Well, I thought to balance it out, the necromorphs respawn instantly, whereas the humans had like a full minute respawn time.
Yeah, but still, you're gonna spend most of your time as a necromorph dying before you get to the human. It's very unbalanced. Anyway. Dead Space 3, supposedly, this is all rumors, will have drop-in, drop-out co-op. You will be able to crouch, you will be able to use cover, and you will be able to do dodge rolls. You will be able to rotate objects with the telekinesis power, which you haven't been able to do, but it could add a new dimension to puzzles in the game. Enemies in the game now include human beings. Now, I don't mind
That's a spoiler, because I thought there were going to be human being enemies in 2. That's okay. Because I saw guys shooting at me, and I'm like, oh shit!
Okay, I like that... I don't mind human being enemies in this. I don't mind, being able to rotate objects, because like I said, that could add a whole new dimension to the puzzles in the game. You could have to rotate an object and set it down in a specific way in order to do the puzzle, you know? But drop-in, drop-out co-op, dodge rolls, and fucking cover-based shooting make this sound more like Gears of War than Dead Space.
Or
it sounds like it could take all the horror
it sounds
out
like
of Dead Space.
it sounds a lot like any kind of third-person shooter, honestly.
Yeah, and I don't want Dead Space to become just a third-person shooter. Yeah. Yes, there's third-person shooting in it, but it's still very horror-focused. And
then again, it could become like, well, let's put it this way: there could be even more necromorphs than before. I mean, you could still just have as equally harrowing situations.
Dude.
Yo.
What are you doing?
I am not interested in this topic.
Well, look what happened to Resident Evil 5 when they added co-op into that. It's no longer a horror game, is it?
Resident Evil 5 just sucks.
It's no longer a horror game, is it?
I don't think it has to do with the co-op. I think it just 5 sucked.
Well, 5 sucked for a lot of reasons, but it was not a great game, But having a friend there with you, playing the game with you, takes a lot of the horror and the intensity out of it, you know? And
that's not true.
fear...
Look at Left 4 Dead. It's you have 4 people.
Well, I wouldn't really call Left 4 Dead scary, but that's just...
Yeah, but there's still the same kind of intensity. Dude, a lot of people who play horror games, though, a lot of times they're not actually scared by it. I don't know, a friend of mine was, like, for instance, talking about, like, Amnesia. He was not scared at all by that game. Like, he said at first he was, but then everything, like, all the enemies were doing the exact same thing.
It becomes predictable?
As shit. And he's like, oh yeah, I see you there in the corner. You look like you're gonna attack me, but you're not. I'm gonna walk on by and not care. And, yeah.
Well, Dead Space has a certain, bag of...
He's like, don't bother playing it, just watch videos of someone else playing it.
Dead Space is a lot of fun to kill the necromorphs and battle them, but it does have a certain bag of tricks to it that it will use over and over again.
Like Felix, the cat?
You will walk past an enemy, and then he will get up and then start attacking you, and you'll have to turn around and attack him, and things like that it does repeatedly, that gradually over the course of the game, it becomes less and less frightening, you know? But I fear that this will do the exact same thing that Resident Evil 5 did and take all the horror aspects out of it. And I don't want it to happen because it's a good survival horror series.
Well, it began as a survival horror, and the way I look at it, the game has to evolve, otherwise it's going to get stale. And even if it's not the same, has the same feel as the first one, the survival horror, I think I'm okay with that, because honestly, I do like the story of Dead Space. Like,
so do I.
And as long as they continue to have that it's not so much being scared. Honestly, I'm not scared by Dead Space. However, what I get out of it is the suspense of it, not the actual horror. Because in a sense, like, it was horrifying, but it's just as the main character someone would be in real life, or with any kind of war or battle situation, at first you're scared of what's going on. It's confusing. It's a situation you've never been in. But like everything else in life, even war, horrors, and atrocity, it can become routine.
Yeah.
And it doesn't affect you in the same way. So I figure as far as the game goes, it's going to be the same way. So if the series is to survive, it needs to evolve. It needs to keep the suspense, but it's got to evolve so that it actually becomes more of a challenge. So as, you know, he gets used to killing these things, and he becomes more of, say, a warrior than just this guy thrown into a bad situation as a survivor, you know, you're going to have to change the gameplay, how the enemies come at you, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't, like, people complain about it. I'm not, honestly, for Dead Space, for it to survive in today's market, I think it has to continuously evolve.
I just don't want it to become a straight up action shooter.
Well, yeah, I don't mean either. And, like, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna make the second one more action based, and so far I have not seen that.
For the most part, the second one really isn't more action based. There are probably just more necromorphs to kill than there were in the first one, and that's it. It's not, and it's a good game. I liked Dead Space 2. I think the reason I was slightly disappointed in it was because in many regards, very much the same as Dead Space 1. That's not a bad thing, but I've already been through it, you know?
Right.
And it didn't bring much new to the table at all. And like with Resident Evil 4, it revamped the entire franchise in a way that was still scary, and I'm hoping Dead Space will find, if these rumors about Dead Space 3 are true, they'll find a way to do that. In a very strange move from Mojang, the Xbox 360 version of Minecraft will only support split screen.
Yeah, what?
Co-op.
What?
On a high definition TV. If you have a standard definition TV, you cannot play split screen co-op.
Yeah, but who plays Minecraft split screens?
Well, you can't do that on the
Minecraft's.
You can't do that on the PC. But
yeah, that's kind of. So a lot of people are going to be used to not playing it that way, anyways.
At
first I thought you just meant multiplayer in general.
The Xbox 360 version of it brings it to a whole new group of brings the game to a whole new group of people that don't necessarily play it on
everyone
PC.
I know who has it, who has it on their computer and has tried the Xbox version, they're like, don't bother.
A lot of
have
people
it on the PC and you like the game. It's like
a lot of the fun really is not knowing what the other guy's doing. I can't imagine a split screen version. You mentioned that earlier, but I didn't know that part about it. I might have just misheard you.
Well, split screen co-op is cool and it's a lot of fun. It's a nice addition to the Xbox version of it, but it's just weird. You can only do it in a high definition TV, and it's not like.
Granted, there's a lot going on the screen, but standard def split screen Minecraft, I can't imagine that.
Well,
Minecraft on the PC wasn't exactly a
240p.
high definition game.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be on the Xbox.
Yeah, but you're not going to play
definition.
it. No, well, yeah, but you're not going to play it 240p. That would be 240i if it was standard definition.
Yeah, I don't know. Regardless,
you can't even watch a Let's Play in that.
I don't think it should really be that much of an issue because everyone's saying, like, so what about that with the standard definition? I'm sure they wouldn't do that unless they had a legitimate reason why.
Well, there are enough people bitching about it that have made a story.
Well,
but you can still play multiplayer standard definition,
right?
If it's not split screen.
Yeah,
I don't know why
yes.
that's
but
actually from what I heard. That shouldn't be a problem. What I've heard the big issue is because there's only multiplayer. You can only have up to 4 on the Xbox. Minecraft. And honestly, a lot of people have described it as. I've seen the interface too, and it just
looks weird
for controllers. But
did you see the Rage Quit of it?
No.
Yeah, Rage Quit did it.
Oh, we'll have to
yeah,
see
Rage
that.
Quit did it. That's his newest one.
Anyway, he a lot of people described it as Minecraft Beta 1.6 for the computer. Not only that, but a big issue is, okay, you can have up to 4 people on at once, right? Here's the thing, though. Only one person is hosting, so in a sense, whoever started the game hosted the world has to be on for any of the others. So, like, one person can't quit, and someone else takes over hosting ability. So whoever started that world...
You can't have, like, a server, like you can
right.
with the
So
PC.
whoever started that world would have to leave their Xbox on, say if they wanted to get off, but the others wanted to stay, continue working on that Minecraft world. Which is kind of an issue.
For Xbox players, I mean, a lot of them are close friends. You know, I can kind of imagine that.
But it's still kind
I can picture that being less of an issue on the Xbox version than on the PC than it would have been on the PC version.
Well, the server is kind of separate, though.
Yeah, the server does you can set the server
Plus, your
aside.
computer's staying on.
Who really wants to leave an Xbox on as a server? I think that's the
as
point.
opposed to a computer.
Well, I know people that do leave their Xboxes on as servers.
Oh, I wasn't privy to that.
Yeah.
Holy cow! That was like a 10-second fart.
I know a guy that I don't know what server he's holding now, but he at least used to hold Unreal Tournament 3 servers on his Xbox all the time, and he would just turn it on and let him go.
That's gay.
And let his friends play. No, it's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I know. I was just
But
trolling.
it still does. It's kind of inconvenient, though, and I don't know. But anyway.
Well, I could see, like, if you had it, it's like Wednesday night, Minecraft night, you know.
I don't know.
Speaking of which, on our server, the Greg Jennings Memorial Highway is close to completion.
Oh, jeez. I haven't been on a while. I'll have to check it out.
Shocking. Tim hasn't been on Minecraft in a while.
I've been on a lot more than he
Turbo
has.
bought us a freaking PS3 with both Battlefield 3 and Skyrim. Skyrim!
Is that eating up a lot of your time?
Yes!
I knew it would. It's addicting as shit.
Skyrim. Sean, let me on. Skyrim. And then if I finally get on, and I'm like, Skyrim. Until eventually, sun's coming up. Fuck. If I get to bed now, I can get 5 hours of sleep. But Skyrim. No, I need to sleep. Skyrim. God damn it, I need to go to sleep.
Yes, I do.
And then I wake up and I go, do I have time to play Skyrim before? No! I gotta go to work, and now I'm working. I'm like, I hate you. I want to go home and play Skyrim. Go away, Skyrim.
Oh, heaven help me. Start playing Skyrim.
I have been doing this with this series since Morrowind, so I know exactly what you're going for.
I don't even like fantasy games. In fact, I usually hate them. But I love Skyrim.
It's addicting, dude.
Oh my God.
It's incredibly addicting. I
played Morrowind for probably a couple days.
I didn't even particularly, like, they weren't bad games, but I didn't even care for the Fallout games. And I love Skyrim. Anyway,
I'm starting to think I should try this to get me away from Minecraft. But
that wouldn't be bad. Honestly, I don't know if you would get sucked
You'd have to,
into it.
if you're going to play Skyrim, you're going to have to pull me off of my PlayStation 3 to do it.
I'm going to have to pull Mary off of your copy of Skyrim to begin with.
Oh, remind me. I may get a new copy Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, yes.
I may get it, and I'll be able to play it again. And I'm toward the end of Quake 4. I'm wondering if I'm going to be able to finish that. Because Quake 4 is one of the games that I bought because A, it was cheap, B, I needed something to hold me over till I got Skyrim again.
Quack 3.
That's why I bought Quake 4.
I believe you have money.
Anyway.
Space Shuttle.
What was the topic?
That you can't do couch
Minecraft,
co-op
right,
for Minecraft on Xbox if you're playing on a
Couch
standard
co-op,
definition
like
television. I wonder if it works if you're doing 480p. It didn't say. It did not specify enhanced definition. It just said.
I think 480p is technically.
That would still be 240.
Technically, no, it's not. It's called enhanced definition.
Whatever.
That would still be 240 lines of pixels for each player. That's El Crapo. And let's face it, despite the blockiness and the pixelation, Minecraft is a very visual game. It's not Uncharted 2, but I really just like looking at the vistas. I got blown up once trying to watch the sun come up.
You're Uncharted 2, baby.
And I was like, I freaking exploded.
Yeah, let me guess. You're just like, son.
This was on my one-player mode, when I dug a hole, Ian directed me to the nearest rock face, and I just started digging into it, making a cave, and then I was like, I need a better entrance, and I didn't know how to make doors at the time, so I just made a big mud tower that looked like a tree, and like surrounded the top of it with leaves, so it basically was a tree, with a spiral staircase going up the inside, kind of like I had on our server,
Right.
and basically it was like, see, I didn't realize that monsters could spawn anywhere. I thought they could only spawn outside, and like if I was inside and there was a wall, they weren't getting in. So I made a big tower that you had to climb up the outside of it on a ladder, which I knew mobs couldn't climb, and then go down the inside of it on a spiral staircase, and then you were inside. Well, I didn't bank on the fact that a mob, let alone a creeper, could spawn right there at my exit. So I was like, I used to sit there up there and like watch the sun come up, and I'd be like, back to work on that bridge. And I go waltzing outside, and I was like, there's green at the corner of my eye where I don't remember there being green in the corner of my eye. Bang! Dead.
Well, yeah, but you always have to learn, like, to watch out for that kind of shit when you're playing a new game. Like,
Yeah.
an hour or 4. We should sign off.
Yeah. Wrap it up. Wrap it. Dynamite. Dynamite.
I threw that shit before I came in here! Best line in the movie.
Yes.
I love it. Okay, this has been the last topic was something specific to Eric, but he's having so much trouble with his faucet right now that he wasn't able to join us.
That's what she said. And that doesn't even make sense, but it still sounded good.
But I was going to talk about the Assassin's Creed 3 trailer with him, because it looks really fucking cool, and it looks like you might be able to use both bow and arrows and muskets, which would be fucking awesome. The Assassin's Creed 3 gameplay trailer actually showed him grabbing the musket of one English soldier, and it had the bayonetta thing on the end of it with the knife.
Bayonet.
Yeah.
It's just called a bayonet.
Yeah, and he like grabbed it and like pulled it forward, pulling the entire soldier forward with it because he had a good grip on it, and jammed it into the gut of another soldier. It was awesome. I was like, this is so fucking badass. But yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to that game much more so. And it looks like they're actually using a new engine. Finally. That they've used the same engine for every Assassin's Creed game up to this point, and it's not a bad engine.
Can they just create already a game engine that's just called the V8 or something? Or the Wankle? I like Wankle.
Well, Hideo Kojima's making one called the Fox engine.
The Fox engine?
I thought he already created a couple called the Fox engine.
That's not
I thought Metal Gear Solid 3 ran on something called the Fox engine.
No, he's creating his first engine now. He never made an engine before.
Well, I think the engine system which the United States has been using pretty much since about 1992 is a very good idea.
Yeah.
And
well,
you can thank ID Software for that for the most part.
Well, yeah, that's because Hideo Kojima realized like his video games kind of hit a wall with development-wise, because like the complaints people had about like Metal Gear Solid 4 was like, the graphics are great, you've improved a lot of the control, however, this still feels like a game from the 90s. Like,
I still loved it. I love the characters, the music, the story. I loved it.
I liked it, but there were still a lot of problems with the games that I was honest.
Well, I'm not saying it's perfect.
This is sad. This is like a game for like. There was one part, like, right in the beginning, and Turnbull found this, and he literally could not play past it because he was like, I have no faith there's anything good about this game. I cannot continue, because he loves the Metal Gear Solid series. And there was a part where, literally, like, soldiers kept pouring out of this one crack between two buildings infinitely, and he could literally just stand there shooting them, and because they would drop ammo and guns, he could literally do it infinitely, and getting infinite Drebin points, and he was just like...
So basically it was... had the Call of Duty design flaw that's been there since forever.
It was a horrible design flaw. It was obvious. There was no reason it should have been in the game. I had found it myself, but I just ignored it. And he is just like, what was Hideo Kojima thinking? He's like, he like turned it off. He's like, I can't play this game. He's like, I'm too worried about the rest of it. I don't want to start hating Metal Gear at all, so I can't play this game.
Well, I think with Metal Gear Solid 4, it's one of those cases where, yes, it has problems, but the good far outweighs the bad, you know?
Done.
we need to sign off.
Yeah.
Done.
This has been another edition of Press the Action Button podcast here on digital-delirium.com. As always, I am your host, Joystick. With me this week was Slacker Chan. Say goodbye, Slacker Chan.
Space Shuttle.
Good choice.
Also with me this week was Gameface. Say goodbye, Gameface.
Done.
Good.
And we will talk to you guys next week. And I will try to get a comic up for you, a new comic up for you as soon as possible. We already have it ready. Would you guys please stop so I can, like...